Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Luke and this channel is all about me documenting my journey from student to professional pilot. Make sure to click that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you know when I post a video. In today's video, we're going to discuss the most important thing in aviation, and that is safety. The last time we went flying, I forgot a cable that helps me record ATC audio, and I was unable to do so. I still had my GoPro and my phone and camera to record, so I still got some footage, and we went over emergencies, and that's why I'm making this safety video. Let's hop into the first emergency procedure that we practiced. Safety all starts when you first arrive at the airport. Having good situational awareness is key to being safe. Right now I'm on the ramp and I'm aware of all the airplanes that are starting up and taxiing out. This is especially important if you bring people with you that have never been on a general aviation ramp. They might not know that the red beacon light means an airplane is starting up. So make sure to inform the people you're with to keep them and yourself safe. Before we go into those procedures that we practiced, I want to go over what I do on a takeoff roll, because as most pilots know, there's two phases of flight that are the most dangerous and where you should be on your toes, and that is the takeoff and the landing. So on the takeoff, if you watch some of my videos, I basically make three callouts. The first is takeoff power set. And all that means is that the throttle is fully in. Fun fact, most jets actually don't put in their full power to take off. They only have a takeoff power, so it goes to that notch, and that's what they take off on. So the first call out is takeoff power is set. That just means that my power is fully in, and that's just a reminder for me to keep my hand there and be safe.
Takeoff power set.
My second thing I do is I look down at the engine gauges and I say engine gauges are in the green.
Engine instruments are in the green.
I'm looking at my oil pressure and all the other engine gauges there and making sure that everything looks normal and everything looks right. My third call out is airspeed is alive.
Airspeed's alive.
And if you start your flight training, you'll know what that means. Basically, the little notch on the airspeed indicator starts to move. That means that your airspeed is alive. My final call out, rotate. Everybody knows we don't have a V1 in the Cessna 172, but we sure say rotate, and that just means when you pull back on the yoke and lift off.
50 knots.
So now that we talked about what I do on a takeoff roll, let's hop into that first simulated emergency, which is an aborted takeoff. Something that could very well happen. Maybe you look down and your oil pressure isn't rising, or there's a deer on the runway. In an aborted takeoff, you want to cut the power back and apply as many brakes as you can. And in a simulation aborted takeoff, you want to make sure you don't squeak those tires, because that could put a bald spot on the tires, and we don't want that. The next emergency that we simulated was a power off landing. So basically, we were doing pattern work and we were on a midfield downwind, and my instructor pulled the power and said, okay, what are you going to do? So in my airplane and most other airplanes, when you learn to fly, there's three things that you're going to do when you lose your engine. And I just remember those: A, B, C. Airspeed, which in my airplane is 60 knots. B, best field. At this case, we could make the airport, so I was getting to that runway. And C, you're going to pull your car beat. So you could see that I'm doing that in this video. And I think the first time, if you're a student pilot and you're just watching this and you haven't done this stuff yet, I think you're going to be surprised at how far you can actually make it with no power. Now, of course, we're not actually shutting the power off, so the engine is still at idle, so you're getting a little bit from that. But really, it's not too different, and I think you're going to be surprised at how far you can go with no power. The next emergency that we simulated was a power off 180 landing. We got about 500, 600, 700 feet above the ground, and my instructor pulled the power and said, okay, where are you going to go? So I started my shallow turn back to the field, because I knew that I was maintaining my airspeed I should have and my carb heat, and I knew I was going to make that runway. So I started my shallow turn because you don't want to be steep, and my instructor had me put in the airplane in a forward slip, and I was actually shocked at how the airspeed just stuck. It stuck right at 60 knots, and we were coming super steep, And then when you let that slip out, the airspeed's going to go real high, so you got to be careful. So we did that, exactly what he said would happen, but I got the airplane on the ground, and again, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't my best landing. It wasn't a terrible landing, but it wasn't my best. But we got the airplane on the ground, and if that was a real emergency, we would have all been safe and had to fill out no paperwork. I'm sorry this isn't the traditional flying video, but as I said, some things just don't work out with the audio recording sometimes. But my next flight, I'll be sure to film and I'll be sure to release a flight video. Got some pretty cool trips planned and some pretty cool videos planned, so stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video and you want to support my channel, be sure to click that subscribe button, hit the bell so you're notified when I post a video. If you want to follow me on Instagram for more day-to-day stuff, the link is in the bio. As always, I want you to stay current, stay proficient, stay safe, keep the blue side up, and we'll see you in the next video.